Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, welcome and good morning.
It's great to be back.
How was traffic?
Not too bad, actually.
Okay, I'm just wondering, because I'm putting that in for John Tory just to see if we can get some money for the subway relief.
Actually, in about an hour and a half, I'm going to be announcing the York, opening the York, York subway extension, which is a big piece of news. And a reminder that what we're doing on investing long-term in big infrastructure matters. This has been years. It goes back to before us, obviously, but getting to that end line means consistent investments in people, and that's what we're doing.
Let's talk about investments in people globally. A lot of eyes right now on NAFTA. We want to talk trade. So it's kind of hanging by a thread right now. A lot of conversations, but nothing solidified just yet. Where do things stand, and help us understand the importance of getting something done?
Well, I mean, the fact is that we are so interlinked with the United States in terms of trade. NAFTA's been great for us, for the U.S., even for Mexico, for the past 25 years. Of course, we need to update it. The American president has a bit of a different perspective on it. He's negotiating hard, but fundamentally, there are so many good jobs created on both sides of the border through NAFTA that we have to believe that we're going to end up in a good place.
Well, just last week, he said, you know what, I'm thinking I might walk away, but I like that Justin Trudeau fella up north. Would we then negotiate a deal? If NAFTA does fall through, would we go ahead and negotiate something separately with the States, and what would that do with our relationship with Mexico?
Well, I think, first of all, what we've learned is, the president likes to be unpredictable, but we're just going to stay serious, focused, and working on a win-win-win. It's what our relationship should be.
You just returned from China. The president didn't return with a trade deal. How do you respond to that criticism?
Oh, I think Canadians expect us not to get a good deal and get.
Speaking of small business, actually, Winston, we've solicited some questions from our viewers. And Winston, we have a comment here from someone about small business.
That's right. Thank you so much. One is, this is the first concern from a viewer, Ron Smith, about the impact of minimum wage and the hike on small businesses. Even though that is a provincial issue, Ron says that he's going to be impacted by the small business tax changes announced this week.
As a small business owner, I think we could have handled 25 to 50 cents an hour, but this big hike is going to be a killer. We're going to have to lay off, and it's only going to snowball because my people that are making $13 or $14 an hour, they also want an increase. So it's going to just keep continuing. The cost of living is going to be ridiculous rate. Nobody's going to win here except one person, and that's the government. And that's the increase in taxes that everybody's going to be paying.
Well, I mean, that's
I could hear small business owners yelling at their TVs right now. A lot of them are still, and they're letting me know, saying that when in the end, January 1st, the changes to the small business tax is going to hurt a lot of them.
Okay.
And they're already facing, like we saw, provincial problems with the minimum wage, and they're facing rent hikes. Some of them are closing. Yonge Street is rife with the shops that have closed down.
Well, let's make it perfectly clear. 100% of all small businesses in this country only touches 3% of small businesses, and even then, their kids who work in the business, their wives or their husbands, and overall, we're helping small businesses.
Well, on the question, too, was the timeline on it. And some saying, why is it being introduced January 1st, 2018? Why not wait the year until there was more spread out and we could figure out exactly how this is going to roll out? Why the rush on it? Because, there's been some criticism in the Senate with the report. Why now?
Well, when we...
we were preparing some of our questions, and we brought up one particular topic, and I said, no, I don't think he's going to want to talk about that. But I don't want to talk about it. It's all done. We know it's going to happen in April, so we're fine with all of this. What do you think the topic was that everybody wanted to talk about? And that is marijuana. And so let's get to one of the comments right now.
Sure.
From the questions we've been getting, it's one of the common themes, and it's medical marijuana for pain control, for mental illness. We got this question from Diana Donnelly in Kingston. Take a look.
I represent a lot of people in Kingston who have PTSD, mental health issues. We use cannabis because it's safer. We use less of other medications when we're using cannabis. Why are you taxing our medicine? I've been using it for 18 months. I didn't pay that dollar tax, and for me, because I make my cannabis into edibles and oils, it's going to cost me $150 more a month for my medicine. I'm not sure that I can afford that, which means that the whole purpose of you legalizing is kind of going up in smoke.
Okay. Yeah?
It's almost impossible to talk about marijuana without making puns somewhere in there.
A lot of questions that we had from viewers surrounding policing agencies, because once it becomes legal, it's a gray area, being able to determine if someone is impaired in some way. So how is the federal government going to tackle this one? Because it is very gray.
Well, let's first of all be very, very clear. This is put in place a better framework to handle what's already a behavior. So this is something that actually
All right, let's go back to Winston for one more.
One more question here from Michelle Newton. She's a teacher in Thunder Bay. She wants you to grade yourself.
In the new year, I'll be busy preparing report cards for my students, and my question to Prime Minister Trudeau is, if he could write his own report card on the last year, what would he say are his strengths and weaknesses, and what are the next steps moving forward?
Well, you know what? Every reporter seems to want to write a report card at the end of the year, so I'm not going to take away your work. You guys have a lot of work to do. I'm going to just stay focused on the things that we have to do for Canadians.
Let's do that part of your report card then about where we need improvement.
Where we need to continue focus is making sure we're listening to Canadians. In the new year, like I did last year, I'm going to be kicking off with a series of town halls where I'm going to get out and actually take direct questions from Canadians on a broad range of topics.
And they're not always comfortable.
Oh, no, they're tough questions, but quite frank, and I hate saying this, often they're tougher and better questions than the media gives me as well.
Hey,
this comes
hey,
straight
that's
from...
fair.
That's why you reach out to viewers as well.
But they are the real questions. And you said, you know what, you have a very thick skin.
I was raised with people who loved me because of my dad and people who disliked me because of my dad. And I had to know that either way
didn't define who I was.
And that allows me to have a strong sense of who I am and take even unconstructive citizen and try and look criticism and try and make the constructive element out of it.
As a baby boomer, I have to say, Canada has not been on the world stage like this with this kind of an image since your dad. How much of Pierre Elliott Trudeau is in Justin Trudeau on foreign visits, etc.?
I think I'm always extremely proud to be my father's son, but as we were talking before we went on, I'm incredibly proud to be my mom's son as well. I mean,
She's a wonderful woman.
I was shaped by my parents, but I am my own person, and if Canada's having a bigger impact on the world stage,
We are doing the right kinds of things, and
All right, well, Prime Minister, you are on breakfast television, so we've got to have a little bit of fun. And we want to talk a bit about the holidays specifically, right around the corner. So we've got some rapid-fire questions for you, okay? So
rapid answers.
First thing that comes to mind, okay?
Sure.
Cider or eggnog?
Nog.
Mild temps or winter wonderland? You're from Ottawa.
Big get-together or small family gathering?
I guess.
Load up on the main course or save room for dessert?
Oh, no. I can't get...
Okay. Best holiday song?
Well, now you got actually
Well, we want to. I know that you have you recorded your Christmas message yet? Nobody ever gets a chance to record a message to the Prime Minister and to your lovely wife Sophie. So, you know, from Canadians, you know, like you or not, a Merry Christmas to our Prime Minister and his family, and we look forward to the new year, bigger and better for Canada.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you all, and for whom Christmas is going to be tough, as it always is.
Thank you so much.